how did you come with this idea to do this film?
Well, the title came up when we were on a train to Auschwitz, and we were taking a family trip to Auschwitz, and my dad just described the disabled victims of the Nazis as disposable humanity, and that became the title of the film. But where the film came from is when I was 9 years old, I saw my first gas chamber, and my parents were in Germany with my sister and I. They were presenting on the history of American eugenics, and somebody in the audience stood up and they were like, "Do you know they did this like right around the corner?" And we were like, "No, we didn't." So we grabbed a camera, went to this small town called Bernburg, about 20 minutes outside of Berlin, and my mom started filming. And I, as an artist, I sat down, I started drawing us as mouse characters from Art Spiegelman's Mouse, the graphic novel. And when I eventually became a filmmaker and graduated college years later, in 2013, I turned to my dad and I was like, you want to go back and make a feature film? And he was like, absolutely. And so that's how it came to be.
We grew up, my wife and I are filmmakers. We brought all of our children to do research and make films. So they were very much integrated into our life from the beginning. And we didn't feel like they should be shielded from or, kind of not know about the world and how it operated. And they didn't have any choice either because we have two major disabled people in our family. And there's no such thing as a family with one disabled person. Everyone is disabled by the conditions that individual faces.
This film is a blueprint for the resistance. You please demand that it be screened wherever you are. We'll come to you and we can share the film with your community. Make sure everybody knows about this history because disabled people were the first people to be killed and the last to be remembered. Their memorial is the last one to be opened in Berlin in 2014. And they were targeted and killed in 1939, 1940, 1941, all the way through 45.
One of the things, too, about these memorials where these killing centers were set up in psychiatric hospitals is that they were not accessible. So it was incredibly difficult to get disabled people down to where the gas chamber was. But even when they were turned into memorials, it was always thought that they would just be like cautionary tales for people who were in medical training about overreach. And they didn't anticipate that disabled people would want access to their own disability history by being able to visit those memorials. And so we kept on going. We brought classes there, our children multiple times. And the directors would come out and say, no, it's not accessible, you can't get in. And we were like, no, we'll make sure it happens. We slid down on our asses down the stairs in order to get to the area we wanted to get to. And it was through that act of revisiting places that those places were all decided that they've now become accessible.
Wow. I'm so glad you guys are doing this film, changing the world, because you're doing your part. We're going to leave this interview on a high note, okay? So I am from Mexico, so I want to hear your Spanish.
Mexico. Yes.
Hola.
Revenge for Tenochtitlan.
Adios.
Adios.
Guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Find me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all the social media. Adios.